well, welcome to the Social Club. So Arsenal up to 4th in the Premier League. Another very, very late winner against Burnley. The 3rd consecutive injury time win over that. Nobody is talking about Wenger out. Normality, balance seems to have been restored to the force at the Emirates. Does this mean that the Arsenal crisis is finally over, Dean? What do you reckon?
For now, but then come February or whenever, it'll be back again. So it's cyclical, isn't it? So, yeah, at the minute, there's other things going on. There's Everton going on. There's, Palace and whatever, but he'll be back.
It's always going to be looming. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the thing, isn't it? I don't think we can get away from that, Steve, is that it only ever takes one bad result. But it's the thing, look, I think there's got to be credit where it's due. Arsenal were ripe for everything. The media had the knives out, the fans had the knives out. And
not like that.
No. But I think they've handled the Europa League reasonably well. They're taking that in the stride, and the Premier League again. Great win result against Spurs last week when everyone would have expected Spurs to be the ones coming out on top. And as I say, they're keeping the critics off their own backs at the moment.
They're sort of ghosting under the radar a little bit. The Spurs win, you've got to say, yeah, absolute credit. But they could have been in a full-on typical meltdown if they hadn't beat Burnley or if they'd have lost to Burnley. And and it did take a very late penalty to do it. I think, yeah, I mean...
But is this not a hallmark of a good side, of a settled side that actually... Look, again, you can't legislate for late penalties, but got good players. Alexis Sanchez should get credit for having the bottle to step up and win the game.
They are the most settled team in the league, though. That's a fact. That manager's been there the longest. He's had everything going his way, more or less. He's had relative success with a couple of FA Cup wins recently. Everything points to that team being successful, whatever the marker of successful is. I'm not going to win out, are they?
It's true.
So it's like Dean said, it's just going to be back to...
Still in the Europa League and the FA Cup.
When you look at the result against Burnley, though, I mean... Even keeping up with today with it on social media and stuff, you see that the style of performance in the fans' eyes wasn't there. The questioning all the players, bar I think it was Czech. So many people just laying into the team. And I know you can't base it on social media, especially when it's such a.
You can with Arsenal though.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't even think. I only saw the very brief highlights on it. I don't even think you can base it off yesterday. Like, it's a results thing. If they hadn't won that, or they'd got beat, it might be back on the agenda again.
The thing for me, Ped, is that look, everyone said it was a terrible season for Arsenal last year because they finished, 5th or whatever it was. Whereas points-wise, what they did was what Arsenal have consistently done. 9 times out of 10, it gets you into the top 4, and it's not an issue. Is this just that this is vindication for Wenger? No, it's not. It doesn't solve the wider criticisms of the fans, understandably. They want more. They want league title challenges and they want to be competitive in Europe and what have you. But is this just returning to what was this to be expected?
This is just returning to normality, isn't it, for Arsenal? I think what's helped them is, like you mentioned, they've gone under the radar this season because it's all been about Spurs. So now they're above Spurs. It'll be interesting to see where the pressure's cranked up slightly because they're now back up there. Now they're jostling with them maybe for that 4th spot. But yeah, I mean, if they're happy with this, fine. I mean, I thought they were about winning leagues and stuff. But
I think the issue they've got, Steve, is that you just can't help it.
Subtle.
Still too leaky at the back to be probably challenging higher up the table.
He's not got an identity at the moment, has he? He sort of flip-flopped with the 3 at the back like everybody else has sort of experimented with this season. Where's the Arsene Wenger identity? And it feels like...
But is that to be commended? Because the Arsenal Wenger, identity was flawed.
You could also say, yeah, fair play to him for experimenting and not just saying, I've been a Premier League manager for 20 years, here's how we're doing it. So, yeah, I guess, depending on how you look at it, yeah, you probably could give him a little bit of credit for it. But it feels like the end of the road. I'm not going to. It feels like the end of the road,
doesn't it? It's got a boys to men vibe.
It feels like there's just waiting for Wenger to go. And then Arsenal are going to do whatever comes next for them. It feels like... He ain't
just treading water, isn't it?
Is he going to win the league? No, right? Is he going to win the Europa League? Looks like Dortmund and Atletico could be in there in a couple of months. So that puts a lot of pressure on him. Does he want to? And if he does, can you see them finishing inside the top 4? Because I think you can get through a relatively easy group stage, but once you start getting to that grind of the knockout stage...
I suppose from experience, we had it similar. There's going to be a tough conversation to be had. And United had to do it and Liverpool had to do it the season before, where you go, what's more important, winning the Europa League or putting all our eggs in finishing.
We gambled
fourth.
and won.
And we gambled and never.
You can gamble and throw it all away, can't you? And I think that the way it goes with Arsenal, do you really trust those players to have the fortitude to go and win a cup final when they need to, when they really need to get back in the Champions League?
Are we all falling into this narrative though? Because it is very easy to slag Arsenal off because it's always funny to see an over-the-top reaction, and I think they are very prevalent. You know, Arsenal are in a weird way almost like the biggest talking point club in the Premier League because of how big their identity is online and what have you. Is it easy analysis for us to just throw them under the bus?
Well, no, because the point, even bringing this up is kind of saying, well, they're doing well now. It's over, and you go, well, they're doing well, but they're still a million miles off the title, as other clubs are. But they're still not challenging for the titles.
But is that given how good City are though? Is that a fair? Is it a fair criticism to say they're miles off the title? Everyone's miles off the title.
No, I think they are miles off.
Yeah, but they've not challenged at any. No. They've not even started well. And I mean, we just accept. Well, they're going for the top four, so yes, it's stable now. And you go, well, Arsenal. You know, certainly my proper years growing up, Arsenal were, and their fans want them to be going absolutely all out for that top spot, and it just seems that they're not.
I think they just seem more settled as a club, though. I'll give them that.
But it was only a few months ago, like Liverpool beating them 4-0, and it was all this, you know, he's got the contract and it's just a matter of time, will he see it out? And I don't know, I know football fans are always fickle and you're up and down all the time, but...
I think they just need a period of stability, everyone, all the fans, everyone.
Haven't they had that for 20 years?
No, I mean the fans don't need, like, the fans need a period of stability where they just... know what to expect.
They don't have to be on the man in the barricades every
just
other week.
Even if they win or lose, they just know what to expect. I think sometimes that's the best thing, and then you can almost plan for the next thing. Whereas what they've been...
This feels like what you want for Everton more than you want Arsenal fans to have, mate.
Isn't it going to be interesting if they do see Arsene Wenger away at the end of the season and the next guy comes in?
Fascinating.
What's the arguments going to be about?
No, exactly. It'd be interesting to see what the reaction to it is. And I look, here's the thing. We know the guys Arsenal Fan TV. You know, we're mates with these guys. I don't think anyone deserves to have to go through that. You know, the ups and downs of it. Like, but it would be interesting. Well, I know exactly. I'm sure the new wing on Robbie's house lets him is giving him a place for calm reflection. But no one. I mean, same as what we've been saying about you guys. You know, I've got no love for Everton, but I don't like the way that football clubs treat their fans. You know what I mean? And you know, I guess boo-hoo Arsenal, they're in the Champions League almost every season and they get to buy expensive players and what have you, but it would be interesting. I'd like to see how they handle. I'd like to see them given the opportunity to actually not be ready with knives in hands to start laying in after every bad result.
That's what I meant with stability. There almost feels like there's a connection again with the club and the fans. That hasn't been there, and maybe just that readjusting of their priorities has meant that. Whereas taking a step back, not being in the Champions League, which is the same every year. They go in the Champions League, they get knocked out in the quarterfinals because they finish second in the group. Maybe because they haven't got that, everyone's took a step back. And the emergence of Spurs has meant maybe they're the underdog, and maybe they're not saying they're happy with that, but sometimes when you've got something to fight for,
it gives you a clear focus.
What it does is it gives you a different enemy as well. So there's no enemy within this year at Arsenal. The enemy is now Spurs because they're actually going for them. Maybe some fans will think I'm being disingenuous saying that, but it's reality, isn't it? So and sometimes that can galvanise a fan base. Yeah.
Well, it's a big run of games coming up, isn't it? You know, the build up to Christmas. We're going to be talking a little bit about this for United, aren't we, on your channel this week? I guess we'll know. You know, it's going to start coming thick and fast over the next few weeks. And I've just noticed that I say the press are primed to have a crisis club at any given opportunity. You know, Chelsea had a very brief spell at it during the summer. Mourinho had a little bit of a spell. Wenger has had the spell. I say we've had to face up to it. Spurs have kind of largely avoided.
You lot have proper ghosted underneath it without much.
Oh, I disagree. You haven't seen the local Mersey Mart or every. The
Mersey Mart's still a thing. No. But the Liverpool have gone at a few weeks off the back of the Man City game and getting beaten by Spurs, where everyone's the mainstream media start to go, well, hang on, what's Jurgen Klopp doing? Blah 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 blah. They need one. They need something to cover. They need something to talk about. That's why I'm uncomfortable with Arsenal being fine. I'm used to them drawing everyone's attention. But fair play to Arsenal fans. I bet it's nice to just take because when you win a couple of games, it's great. Just you go, I don't have to worry about knobheads online, and also you know, all the mainstream pundits.
We're getting it even though we're winning, because people then start talking about the style that you're winning, or you know, should we be winning by more? Like, we're winning.
Yeah.
How about just
Enjoy winning. Yeah, absolutely. Let us know your thoughts. Be Arsenal fans in the comments, of course. Let us know your thoughts on. Do you feel Arsenal are more settled at the moment, or is it an inevitability that one bad result's going to flare it all up again? Please do let me know. Again, we're totally into hearing you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Obviously, we haven't got the Arsenal representation on the show this week, but if you want the Arsenal representation, Deluded Goon has been doing an amazing job on Ball Street Social Club South. So good that we might look for a transfer. I think he's performing far too well in the B show, as it were. But you know,
has he got bollocks?
We'll see how that pans out. What's that mean?
Has he got bollocks? Because obviously, you know, you need bollocks to be on this show.
Oh yeah, you need
down there.
Yeah,
they're all unsullied. Do you know what I mean?
Let us know whether you know the answers to that in the comments below. Subscribe to the Ball Street channel. Let's kick it up a notch as we go into December and the new year, of course. And subscribe to the channels of all the people present. That would be amazing. Check back another video on Ste Howson's channel and Ask the Club as well.